This is the fourth book I've reviewed where a female student falls in love with the teacher. I still have no idea if this is a common occurrence or if I'm just reading weird books.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
The school gets a new art teacher named Mr. Smock. Some people think he looks silly, but Queenie thinks he's pretty cute. He starts class by telling them to do watercolor paintings, and that's it. He doesn't give them any instructions, he just dumps the supplies in front of them and tells them to paint. He's not very good at teaching, is he? Queenie's painting is a heart with the initials Q and S. Too Tall is furious to see that Queenie has a crush on someone other than him. He accuses two of his gang members, Scuzz and Smirk, of fooling around with his girl behind his back. The third gang member, Vinny, steps in before Too Tall beats those guys up. The Too Tall gang questions every 6th and 5th grader whose name starts with the letter S. They pick those grades because Queenie likes older cubs. Can I assume this means the characters in the series are 4th graders? Because ever since I started reading the big chapter books, I've wondered how old they are. When Too Tall still can't figure out who Queenie's crush is, he enlists the help of her cousin Bermuda. Bermuda explains Queenie likes Mr. Smock because he's an art stud. Too Tall decides to win Queenie back with a painting. He works on it for a few days. Sadly for him, the painting is a terrible mess and the entire class laughs at him. I should note that the illustration in the book does not reflect this at all. And the illustration, it's a great still life. Good job, Too Tall. Too Tall decides to publicly embarrass Mr. Smock. At a big art unveiling, Too Tall swaps Mr. Smock's painting with an ugly one of Queenie. Everyone laughs at it. Queenie jumps on stage and accuses Too Tall of being the painting thief. Then the book skips ahead a few days. I thought that was weird. I wanted to see the rest of Queenie's dramatic confrontation in front of the media and the entire school, but the book skips over it. We're told in passing that Too Tall is scheduled to be expelled from school, and that sounds legitimately interesting. Why did they cut that part out? Queenie tricked Mr. Smock into coming over to dinner when her parents aren't around. Mr. Smock fell for the trick because he likes eating fish. The only thing he can cook is peanut butter and honey sandwiches. He eats those for every meal, every day, so he's excited to eat real food for once. To his credit, Mr. Smock instantly realizes that Queenie has a crush on him. That did not happen in the other 3 teacher crush books I read. Mr. Smock is both clear and firm. He tells Queenie that what she did is wrong, nothing can happen between them, and he leaves immediately. He also tells her parents right away. Queenie's parents worry about her for the wrong reasons. That is, they worry she'll have a hard time getting over her crush. No, that's not the problem here. The problem is that she tried to date a teacher. The problem is not, how can we help Queenie recover from her heartbreak? Queenie decides it'd be better if she dated Too Tall again. She tells Too Tall that she wants to be his girlfriend. No, I'm just kidding. She starts flirting with another bear in order to make Too Tall jealous. Queenie has some seriously wrong ideas about the way relationships work. Too Tall has an expulsion hearing. Principal Honeycomb is in favor of expulsion, but Vice Principal Grismeyer wants Too Tall to get a light punishment so he can still play in a big football game. I've said this before, but I think it's unfair that Too Tall gets away with breaking rules just because he's a sports star. It's also unfair that he's allowed to be on sports teams to begin with. The Bermuda Triangle book revealed Too Tall is 2 years older than everyone else. That's an unfair advantage in 4th grade sports. Mr. Smock believes that Too Tall legitimately likes painting, so he argues in favor of Too Tall getting a light punishment. As a result, Too Tall isn't expelled. Mr. Smock has dinner with Too Tall's parents. Tooton and Tutu, those are their actual names. The end. Post-book follow-up. In the school scandal sheet, Queenie wrote a false story about Teacher Bob dating a teenager, which caused a huge scandal. You'd think Queenie might remember that, but she doesn't. Continuity? Actually, a continuity note, this book starts a new school year. They refer to the events of previous books as last school year. So did the Cubs actually get a year older, or are they just repeating the same grade over and over? I don't know. Even though Queenie's in the title, Too Tall is definitely the main character of the book. It's somewhat sweet how he goes so far out of his way to impress Queenie. He legitimately cares about her, even though they're not officially dating. And who knew he had an artistic side? I think there's more character development for Too Tall in this book than there was for Brother Bear in his love-centered books. Overall, it was a good book. It never lost my interest, and the pacing was fine. I'm not a big fan of the storyline of Queenie wants to date a teacher, but I think it was handled well. I give the Berenstain Bears and Queenie's Crazy Crush a 9 out of 10.